Hi, my name is Christy Drexel. I am the Regional Executive Minister for the Christian Church in the Southwest. I'm glad to be with you today. My story of ministry and leadership started serving on the local YMC in the Coastal Plains area. I started attending CYLS in 1993, was the Regional Youth Representative for Coastal Plains in 1995, and then was able to serve again as adult a few years back. So my story is intertwined with CYLS and with the Southwest region. I have been asked today to talk to you about self-care. What does self-care look like? And I have a little confessional before we start. Talking about self-care right now seems to be a little difficult for me. Many of us are stuck at home. Our regular ways of taking care of ourselves may be impossible due to social distancing and quarantining ourselves off to stay healthy. But also, it's difficult because we are regularly presented with opportunities in our community to put others, the marginalized, before our own needs, which is important and must be done. But even with all of those difficulties, self-care, I would argue, is even more important today than maybe it has been in our past. As youth leaders, you are being asked to lead in ways that those who came before you were never asked to lead. You are going to be amazing, creative leaders that will plan events for your peers. And you're going to do that with quite a bit of uncertainty about what retreats and camps will look like in this coming year. I know when I was an adult on the Disciples Crossing YMC, I would always ask the youth, what's your plan B? What's your backup plan in case of weather or things of that nature? I'm guessing that your adults have asked you similar questions as you have planned in the past. And now this year, you may be asked to have multiple backup plans depending on how things go in the coming year. And you're going to be doing all of this on top of the other demands on your life from your friends, your family, school, and all the other things that you're involved in. If you don't learn to take care of yourself through all of the work, you won't be able to do all of the work. At least you won't be able to do it for long. And as I say that to you, I am saying that to myself as well. We are on this journey together. So what is self-care? What does it mean for us to talk about self-care? Self-care is the intentional action you take towards your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Let me say that again. Self-care is any intentional action you take towards your own physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Self-care looks like taking a nap, getting exercise, spending time with friends, and, or maybe most importantly, saying no to commitments when your plate is already full. I would like us to think of self-care not only as an act of self-love, but also as an act of resistance. Resistance against the chaos that can circle our lives on any given day. So let's be radical, and let's be counter to the feeling society put on us to always be busy, to always say yes. God tells us that a right relationship with God includes rest. That's what the whole notion of Sabbath is about. And then Jesus takes it a step further and shows us not only the importance of a day of rest, but also the importance of daily rest. Do you ever notice the number of times Jesus leaves everyone to rest and to pray, especially before making big decisions or major life changes that he faced? So how do we do self-care? Self-care should, just like our example with Christ Jesus, self-care should include rest and prayer, or some type of spiritual discipline, if not daily prayer. But it goes much farther than that. If we were together, this would be the time that I would share what self-care looks like. We would all share what it looks like for each one of us, and we would workshop that together and learn from each other. In this medium, though, I want to share with you some examples from Psychology Today and the things that they have shared. And as I share, I would ask you to listen for the ways that you can incorporate them into your day and share them with your leadership team so that you can all hold each other accountable as you move through the coming year. So what are some tools for self-care? First of all, carve out time. This is the basic prerequisite for just about any self-care and the number of ways that you can do that. You need time, and it has to be part of your daily routine. It's not always to set time aside with everything going on in life, but learning to carve out time into your schedule is necessary. It can be just 15 or 20 minutes a day, or it could be longer. What matters and what's most important is that you do it regularly, that every day it becomes habit as you continue to do it and practice. The second one is meditation, which sounds maybe kind of hocus pocus and something that you can't do. But mindful meditation has proven to change the structure and the functions of our brains. It rewires our brains. And it's a fabulous way to promote relaxation while reducing anxiety and stress. You can learn, if you don't know how to do meditation, you can learn from YouTube. And there are a countless number of apps that you can download onto your phone to help you with meditation. Again, the importance is the pause and the relaxation that you get from meditation. Another way is exercise. Working out comes in many forms. I don't like to exercise, but there are ways that you can do it to make it work into your schedule. There are the extreme where you go to a gym or have a home gym or whatever you feel is safe. But getting your heartbeat up is important. But simply walking for 30 minutes a day is great exercise too. Plus it gets you outside, gets you a break from sitting inside your house or wherever it is that you spend most of your day. Exercise not only gets you physically fit, but it's a natural way to help decrease depression and anxiety. Another way is to get some sleep. That's easier said than done with the schedules that we keep, but sleep deprivation is detrimental to a person's thinking and their physical and emotional state. Most young people need 8 to 9 hours of sleep a day. That's so that you can function at your highest level, 8 to 9 hours. Some of you are doing the math now to see how long it is that you sleep every night. It's not easy, I'll admit it, not easy fitting that kind of pattern of sleep into your schedule with all the other things that you have going on, but it will pay off big if you make that commitment. Another way is creative expression. I'm not an artsy type, but if you choose a creative outlet to convey your thoughts and feelings, this could be journaling, writing poetry, painting or drawing, doing photography, dancing, or playing music if you play an instrument. The key here is channeling your emotional state in any art form. While some may choose to do this seriously and actually take classes, others may be self-taught and get the job done that way. The importance is not to strive for perfection. Simply immersing yourself in creative arts can ward off adverse thoughts and feelings. I color by number. That's the level of my artistic creativity, but you can do better than that probably. Another one is for those of us who have pets, play with a pet. If you're lucky enough to have a pet, there's no better way of expressing unconditional love than what you get from your pet. Just sitting down and cuddling with a pet, petting the pet, taking care of your pet really is a sign of unconditional love and can relieve the stress by the love that you share between you and your pet. Another one that might be a little more difficult in these times, but still important, is to meet and communicate with your friends. Research has found that meeting with peers and talking about what's going on with you, including past events maybe that you're still processing, helps promote well-being. Group connections are so important for fostering resilience and releasing chemicals in the brain that support well-being. And these activities don't have to be just talking. Things like doing projects together or playing games. It's okay to be a gamer, to play games. All of this works towards self-care. And despite the pressure to have huge numbers of friends or followers, it only takes a few special friends to make a big difference in your life. Another one is to appreciate nature. There is a reason that we treasure national parks and state parks. Think about all the times that you have spent time out in nature, the experiences that you have, the connection that you have with seeing all that God has created. Many of us can name that special place at camp that brings us comfort and makes us feel as if that we have purpose in life. I would venture to say that has something to do with the place, the holy ground, but it also has something to do with just that connection with nature, being out in the world that God has created. And so I invite you to go out, to find time to be in nature. Another part of camp that we might connect to when we talk about self-care is that idea of turning off your phones, at least for part of the day. It's hard. I know, I understand, but really, you don't need to always have your phone on you as if it's attached to you. You could take a break, again, even if for just part of the day. There may be some withdrawal or anxiety about not being right there with what you think is critical, but just stop and think, detach, and take a moment. Really, the bottom line to all of this self-care is that in all times, we need ways to help maintain our ability to cope. Self-care techniques are fundamental for preventing stress before it strikes and are fundamental for sustaining our equilibrium during hard times. I'm excited to see what you guys create in the next year and for what our camping ministry will look like for the region under all of your leadership. Thanks.